let's talk about animations. Hello everyone, how are you doing? Today we are going to talk about one of the most amazing animations library, animate.css. I found it when I was working on a project. It was one of those modern layouts with colorful elements, a lot of movement, and almost all elements had any animations. So I decided to find any tool to make those animations a little bit faster, and that's how I found animate.css. And I use it until today. It's so easy, so simple, and it gives such a beautiful effect that I would like to teach you how to use this tool today. So, what we are going to do now? We are going to take a look at the documentation, see how it works, and build not one, not two. We are going to build 3 projects using animate.css. Are you ready? Let's go! Okay, so let's start from taking a look at what is animate.css at all. Let's go to their website, and here we can see drop down with types of animations, and we can try some of them. So let's select something, maybe fade out down or bounce in left, and we can check out how element behaves when we take any of those animations. Also, let's check out some documentation. Here is an installation section, so if you're using npm or yarn, it's just one command. And if you would like to add it to plain HTML file, then you can download minified CSS and add it, or you might add by CDN, what we are going to do in a few minutes. Here is a table with names of all available animations, so it's good when you are building a project, you can check it out here. There's plenty of them. And here you have a full example of how to use it. So it's mainly by adding classes, especially in plain HTML file. So the required class is animated. You add this class everywhere where you want your element to make some animation. Then you need also to add a name of the animation from the table above. And you can add some more parameters, like if you want your animation to last forever, then you can add infinite. You can add some delay or speed parameters. And you can check those parameters in those tables. So here you have a class name and delay time. Or here you have a speed time table, so you have, for example, slow 2 seconds, slower 3 seconds. So it's pretty cool, but you also can do it with the normal styles, like in this example here. So you might just add animation duration, animation delay, and animation iteration count. Cool. I told you a little bit about what animate.css is, so let's go to your favorite code editor, and we are going to need 3 HTML files because we are going to do 3 projects. So let's start from creating those. I'll call mine loader, navigation, and form. Everything with .html, and you might select whatever names you prefer. Okay, let's go to loader HTML, and we are going to create the basic structure with imported animate.css library, and we are going to copy paste it to another files to have it ready to start working with it. So let's go, let's create the simple HTML structure, and let's get this CDN link. And we are going to put it into the head section of our HTML file. now it's imported, so we can copy this code and paste it to another files to have it ready to build our projects there. Into navigation and into form, and let's save it. Cool. Let's start with our first project. It's the basic one, so it should be easy. What we are going to create? We would like to get a loader from 3 divs. We'll make rectangular from them and at different colors, actually border colors, and we want each to be inside of another. So let's check it. First div, then inside another div, and inside that div another div. Okay, let's add them class loader to each of these divs. Cool, and now we will do some styling. Let's go to head section and create style tag. And we are going to style our body and loader. Let's start from the body. So I would like my elements to be centered vertically and horizontally. That's why I'm going to use flex. It's a really cool method. So we are going to align items to the center and justify them. Also, I will add a black background, but that's just my preference. Oh, typo here. I would like to have width 100% and min height to 100 VH. And as I said, background color to black. Now let's style the loader. And let's make it display flex. Align items center and justify content center as well. Let's add height and width. It will be the same because we want it to be rectangular, actually a square. And let's add a border to pixels, but without color, because we want to add different colors to each div. And that's we are going to do with inline styles. So let's add a border color, and this one will be yellow. Now let's copy paste it, just changing the color. This one to green and the last one to blue. Okay. So we can check the first result. It's not like anything pretty yet, but let's continue. Let's check the animation you would like to add. I think that flip is kind of good one for the loader, especially the one I've created. So let's start from adding animated class to each of the div. And let's add the flip class because that's the name of animation we've selected. And let's see if anything happens. Okay, it happened once, so we probably need infinite class because we want this animation to be never ending. So let's go back to the code and edit. Okay, that's better, but it's still not what we would like. What I mean, now we need to add some delay and change the speed a little bit. So let's check the documentation and see what classes do we need. For delay, we will take a 1s and 2s. And for speed, we will take slower because we really would like it to be like slow. So let's add slower to each div. I think it's pretty convenient adding all the animations as the classes, and that's what I really like about animate.css, that it's so easy. And we'll add delay only to 2 divs, and one of them will have 1 second delay and the most inner will have 2-second delay. And voila! Our animation is ready. So this is the loader I wanted to create. You can play with it and do whatever you want, whatever kind of loader you want with any animation you will select. So play with it and try to do something amazing. Let's go to another project we are going to do today with animate.css. Let's open navigation HTML file and let's add here some space in a head for style and script. Yeah, script, because we are going to add some pure JavaScript here for our navigation. Okay, what we need is some HTML structure for the site navigation. So let's create the div with menu class, an ordered list inside, and a few list items. I'll add posts, add new post, comments, images, videos, and users. Some example positions. And another thing we will need here is a button that allows us to open this menu. So under this element, let's create a button. And what's going to happen now? I'm using awesome fonts for my menu because I would like to have this icon like a hamburger menu, these bars, and you can easily get their files, install them, or give them your email for the starter kit with CDN. I already have the link for the CDN, so I will paste it here and you can get your own. It's totally free. And here I will put an icon with class fabars. Okay. Also, let's add some styling for the body. As before, we want to center everything. And let's add some more styles for list, and button and icon. Everything is here according rather my preferences, but some of styles are necessary. For example, those for menu to align it to the left. So let's see the result right now. It's not stunning yet, but we are working on that. Okay, it looks pretty cool, so now we can start doing our logic. Let's go to the script tag in our head section, and what we have to do? We have to create a function and a global variable. Let's start from creating a global variable. We will call it isOpen, and we will check if our menu is open based on that variable. So let's set it to false at start, and let's go and create a function. My function will be called toggle menu. You can select any different name. And inside the function, let's define a menu element, and we are going to do it with query selector. And let's define toggle icon element in the same way. Now we will make a conditional statement. So if our menu is not open, we are going to add an animation and open class to that menu. So menu element, class list, add. So we add animated class, fade in left class for sure, because that's the animation we would like to use. And open class, because we want to display our menu actually and get that visibility and opacity. And next thing which we would like to do if we are opening the menu is changing the toggle icon. Now it's 3 bars, and we would like to remove that class and add the class which will display as a cross icon, like this one for closing items. So let's use toggle icon, class list and remove, and below that let's use class list and add. And as last one we will change is open to true. Oh, yeah, we have to add this function to our button with on-click event. Okay, and let's see it. So it works, but the other icon is not visible. Let's check why. Okay, there was a typo. We don't need this dot in front of the class name. And yeah, now it works. Pretty nice. So now we need to make a logic to close this menu. So let's make else. And if menu is open, then we would need to remove some classes. For sure, we would like to remove fade in left, and we would like to add some fade out animation for sure. Yeah, we will add animated and fade out left. Also, we will change the icons back. So let's copy and change it here. And is opened false back. Let's see if it works. Okay, it works, but we can do it only once. There is a trick here. We need to clean up after the animation is finished. And there is a special function in the documentation which we can use. So let's go to the code and try to clean up our mess after animation is done. So inside our toggle menu function, we will create another function, handle animation end. And inside this function, we will remove all those classes like animated, fade in left and fade out left, because we are not sure which animation was running. That's why we would like to clean both of them. Also, in case that menu is not open, we would like to remove an open class. And let's remove event listener from menu element. And below that function, we are going to actually add event listener to the same element. So at the beginning of this function, it should be added, and when we want to handle end of animation, it should be removed. Oops. We had the typo in handle animation and name, so just change it and it's ready. let's go to the third project, which is going to be form with validation, and we want to make some animation if it's validated negatively. So let's go and let's build the structure of our form. Let's create a div with ID form, and we will need 2 inputs, 1 text area and 1 button. So let's go. And please, to each of those elements besides button, we are going to add class validation. It's important right now. Cool, we have a structure in HTML. Now we will need some styling. And already we'll made some place for script. So let's go with the styles. And there's one additional class we are going to add, and it's error. This class we will add if something won't pass the validation. So let's give it just a border with 2 pixels and color red. Let's go to the logic right now. Our form already looks pretty cool, so we can start creating a logic for validation and sending of the form. I mean sending, like we want just to create an animation on this event. So we are going to create a function. I will call mine validate and send. And inside this function we will need to get all the elements with validation class. So let's call it elements, and we will get it by get elements by class name. So we'll get an array with those elements. Besides that, we will need a form element variable. A form variable we are going to get element by ID actually. And with a form, and we'll also need a global variable. We'll call it isValid, and we'll use it to check if our form is valid and if we can send it or show the sending animation actually. Okay, what we are going to do now is iteration through elements, and on each element we will check if it has a value and if that value has length bigger than 0. So let's create a for loop, and inside the for loop we'll define a single element and we will perform an if statement. So if element value length is 0, then it means that we don't have any value there, so this field is not valid. In case field is not valid, we would like to add animation, and we would like to set focus to that field and break the loop. So we will add a class, some classes here, animated, because it's CSS, animate CSS, and we would like to add class tada and our error class. Then we will focus on that element and break. Well, let's see if it works. We just need to assign this function to onClick event in our button. And let's see. It looks like the first step is working. Let's continue. So, imagine the situation that we went through this validation, we failed, and now we are going again. So we need to clean the classes of the element. So before the if statement, let's remove all those classes if they exist. Then we can make an if statement again on the same element. And if we went through all elements, we can set is valid to true. For this, we are going to check if it's the last element, and we will set is valid true. And out of the for loop, if is valid is true, we can add some animation to the form element. So let's add form class list, add animated, and bounce out. Seems like it's almost there, so let's check it. We will check it one by one. Oh, something is not working. Okay, it works. Oh no. Oh, we have a typo here, so just fix it and it's going to work. Okay, the first element works, second one works, text area works, and we performed animation on send. Okay, congratulations! You've just created 3 projects using Animate CSS. Try it on your own, try to make some stunning animations, and good luck! Okay, we are done with Animate CSS projects. I hope you liked it, and I hope you will try to do something on your own. If you liked the video and if you learned how to use this tool, give us a thumb up, subscribe our channel, leave us a comment, and share it with your friends. I hope we will see you in the next video. Bye!